Hello, everyone. Welcome to Paper to Platform, a world of censuses and maps. My name is Irmak Ertuna Havisan, and I'm here with my colleague Troy Adland. We are from Eastview Information Services from Minnesota, and today we'll talk about two of our global products. So we will talk about Global Census Archive with a little demonstration of the platform, how census data can be used as a primary source in research. We'll look at a few countries, and then Troy will talk about Global Geography Library again, show the platform, and then highlight a few countries. So Global Census Archive, as the name suggests, is an archive of censuses from around the world. And censuses have been traditionally stored as books and microfilm, usually multi-volumes of books and big canisters of microfilm. Eastview has been collecting statistical publications and censuses from around the world for some time, but a few years ago, we acquired the International Population Censuses collection that was housed in University of Texas, Austin, and they came in the form of these microfilms that we then digitized. And with all this collection, with the print publications we had, and then the microfilm collection that was within the International Population Censuses, we decided to make a platform that has a uniform, consistent interface that would make it user-friendly for research. We also wanted to be a continually growing archive. As the census rounds become available in like 2020 censuses, 2030 censuses, we intended this platform to acquire all those censuses from around the world. These censuses, even in the cases of a very trustworthy National Statistics Office, sometimes might not have all the censuses available and for access all the time. This is an example. Just recently, National Statistics Office of Korea couldn't put all their you couldn't access their censuses online because there was a fire, and they didn't have. They were going to rebuild some of their infrastructure. So even in countries like South Korea, there might be interruptions in access to censuses. We intended this archive to contain all the censuses from around the world, and to this day we have over 9 million pages, and we represent all the countries at the moment. And like I said, it's continually growing. So when you see what we have, you might be curious what's coming up. So you can always talk to our account managers and ask what censuses are becoming available as we acquire the 2020 census rounds. So our platform aims at comprehensive coverage, which means anything that an official statistic agency of a country publishes for a given census round, we put it in our platform. So this includes publications such as infographics, like Russian census in space, for example. Those are like awareness campaigns and methodology and training materials. But of course, we get the results tables as well. And these tables come in different forms. For older censuses, these come in PDF forms. And for the newer censuses, we acquire the Excel tables. And sometimes, in certain cases, we convert the PDF tables into Excel if there's a request or demand for such use. So this is an example of a PDF table. And then for the Excel tables we have, as in the case of Russia 2020 or Japan 2020, the Excel tables are downloadable. So the users can have an easy access to the tables. And finally, we also provide GIS census data. Again, this is hosted on our platform, and then you can download it, and the users can choose whatever software they are using to work with the data. The archive is intended to be a very user-friendly place that researchers can start their discovery. So when you, let's say you're interested in researching India, you go to the country landing page and you see everything that the platform has with regards to India censuses. And in this case, all the censuses ever done in India are included in our platform, including the last census that was done in 2011. And then you can find the particular census round you're interested in, India 2011, and then go to different series that the country published, different volumes. And one other thing that is very useful in having these census material in digital form, and that's something you cannot have in print books or in microfilm, is all these digital tools that make research easier. So this is the homepage of the archive, and at a glance you can see what's available, which countries are available to your institution. Then you can filter, so you can do your research by filtering different publications. If you're interested in just the methodology documents, or if you're interested in just the results, you can look at those. You can filter for language and census round. And one really cool function is the search function. So let's say you are interested in the mobile phone use. This is something that countries started adding in their recent censuses, the information communication technology use categories. So you're interested in mobile phone use across different countries. You can do a keyword search, and in every instance that mobile phone appears, you can find different results. So in this case, I get results from Aruba, Kenya, and then I pick a document that I am interested in, but say I'm not familiar with the language. I can use those little icons, so I can use the scissor tool, get the text. Since these are all OCR digital files, I can get the text, and I can copy paste this text into any software, like translation software that I'm familiar with, and get the English translation. Censuses are very important primary resource documents for many different types of analyses, and having them all in a historical archival form helps facilitate research in quantitative analysis, historical analysis. And in this case, for example, let's say you're interested in the employment, the labor force status of women and men in Japan. And let's say you start with 1965, you want to look at the changes within decades. Here, I have enough data for different prefectures in Japan. So I can look at Hokkaido, 1965. And then 2015, I also have the similar information, but this time I can get the results in the Excel table form, and I can conduct my comparative quantitative analysis. And this is the table as it appears when you download it on your own desktop. But another thing that's important for us, and is the reason why we have comprehensive coverage, is that it's important to understand the historical context of the censuses. How were these censuses conducted? When were they conducted? What did the administrations prioritize at a given time? So having all the documents, like the methodology documents or the analytical reports, questionnaires, public awareness campaigns, gives the researcher a comprehensive contextual sense of a given census round. So we started with India. Here's an example from India 1881 census. And as you know, this census was conducted by a British administration. And their analytical notes in the ways that they conducted this census and the way they divided the caste groups had lasting consequences for India in the years to come. So all those historical notes are included in these census publications. And then this is from 1951 census. And in this, they included the displaced populations after the partition of the country. So to have this historical context for analyzing censuses is very important for researchers. And I think it makes it accessible for both undergraduate researchers and more experts in their fields. So to sum it up, for Global Census Archive, censuses are very important primary resources. However, there are challenges in bringing all the censuses from around the world under one umbrella and collecting the recent censuses when there's no single timeline when countries publish. And all this Global Census Archive wants to facilitate and also add all these research tools so that users can now have direct relationship with the censuses rather than trying to go to a microfilm or maybe search through the pages of the book. So this has been our goal, and that was for Global Census Archive. And now I'll let Troy speak about the geography.
Yeah, thank you, Irmak. Hi, everyone. My name is Troy Otland. I'm the Director of Operations for Eastview Geospatial, is the technical company, but here is Eastview Information Services. So for Global Geography Library, it's one of our newest platforms, and really it's a digital space for maps, atlases, and other geospatial content and data. We're aggregating these maps and putting them in one place, making it easy to find things within the maps or associated content as well. For the maps on the platform, it's authoritative sources. So in some cases, we're working with national mapping agencies to provide the copyrighted materials, the latest mapping that's available. In other cases, it could be open access or out of copyright materials, and we're putting that on the platform as well. For GGL, it's fully hosted by us. So while some universities, libraries might have the ability to have a very nice mapping platform and repository or archive, Global Geography Library offers a really nice solution for those that might not have the time or the staff or other resources to do so. Also, we have some GIS integration where the maps, you're able to stream them into something like ArcPro, QGIS, Tableau, Carto, or other visualization tools. Very quickly, we break things down into families for GGL, so it's topographic mapping, earth sciences, which is everything from geological maps, explanatory notes, geophysical mapping, and really everything in between. Aeronautical certainly is oftentimes world coverage, smaller scales, but it's a nice base map. Maritime, dealing with navigable waters. The thematic reference, commercial educational, is often more private publishers. Could be hiking maps or tourist maps or different things like this. Then there's atlases as well. And then the final family is the GGL Plus family, which is really the opportunity for an institution or for someone to have us digitize their content and bring it available on the forum. Just very quickly want to talk about the Times Atlas of the World collection. We work with HarperCollins to bring this digital archive to Global Geography Library. It has 19 editions, starting back in 1895 all the way to the 16th edition, which is from 2023. 44 atlases in total. It's great because you're able to search everything at once and certainly save on shelf space or the not having to go out and haul out a bunch of different atlases at one time. And certainly the reproduction of the atlases on the platform looks quite good. I might go through this a little bit quick, but this is one view, certainly a thumbnail view. In this case, I'm looking at the atlas in the middle. When you open that up, you can get some detailed information about the atlas itself. You have the ability to go into a PDF view or a high-res view. In this case, we'll just take a look at the PDF view. You have a nice table of contents on the left, and then the ability to search within the atlas itself on the top right there. And in this case, I've searched for Senegal. There's different options or different results that come up on the right side there, and it takes me to a page that just gives me some very high-level basic information for Senegal. I find out which plate number Senegal lives on. I'm able to certainly navigate to that plate and get a nice view of Senegal. And if you're traveling there, doing research there, this is one place where you could start out at a very high level and go from there. If you are interested in going further in this case for topographic mapping over Senegal, we work with their national mapping agency to bring those maps to the platform. We can go into GGL topographic, and I can select my collection of Senegal and find, I think it's the 1 to 200,000 scale mapping. Those maps will show up on the right, but then also what we do for many of the collections is bring it into a geomosaic. So that's taking all the maps and cropping them, stitching them together, and putting them into this geomosaic, which shows on the screen there. On the platform, you'll be taken to this view. Here you see a little grid index. If you are clicking on those individual index tiles, you'll see the information for that individual map sheet. You'll be able to pull it up as a PDF or as high res. But then on the platform, what you're seeing here, this is the full geomosaic, so you're able to zoom in and out and view the entire map series at one time. So just zooming in on the capital here. So like I said before, now you're able to click into the PDF, and it's that same function again, where if I'm, in this case, I say, well, I need to know, what is the place of worship? What is that symbol on the map? What does that look like? So if I know French, I'm typing that in this case, and it will find on the map, where that place of worship symbol is on the map. Back out in the geomosaic, on the bottom right, on the platform, you're able to copy to the clipboard URL that will allow you to bring that mosaic into ArcPro or QGIS. So that's the WMTS. That's a lot of maybe information, but that WMTS web map tiling service allows you to bring it into ArcPro, where you can use it as a base map, do other analysis. You can overlay different things. It's also at this point where the GCA content that you're able to download, you can bring that into ArcMap as well, or Q, and use them together and have an authoritative base map of topographic mapping alongside of the GCA content. Yeah, that's what the mosaic is. So to wrap it up for GGL, takeaways, it's an aggregated platform for maps and geospatial content and data. It's a growing platform for us at Eastview, working to add certainly new partnerships with different national mapping agencies, but then also non-copyrighted and open access material as well. It's really nice to have that integration with the GIS systems, because it's not just only able to use it on the platform, you're able to take it with you as well. And then, yeah, it's just a nice tool to support the discovery research that is being carried out by people at the university. So I think that wraps up the presentation. Are there any questions at the moment? Yes.
I saw for the Global Census, 1881 is the earliest census. You referenced it from India, and for you, it was 1895. What is the total date range?
Well, from, I have to look at the details, but it's early 19th century. 1881 might not be the first one so their last census was, strangely enough, 2011. They're still waiting to conduct their 2020 round due to COVID. So we have, from early 19th century until 21st century.
Okay. Some countries have been around for a long time, and I assume that they conduct censuses in some way or other.
Yes. we have the earliest census from Chile, 16th century, but it's just one tiny page of a manuscript, and it's just the number the colonialists wrote. So we do have some historical documents, but the kind of like the official census publications as we think of today more or less started 19th century with the tables, and but yeah, it goes all the way back to like 16th century.
And how do you verify or design it to be user-friendly, particularly in the Census Archive?
Well, we kind of present the, first of all, like create a good digital copy of these materials. As you can imagine, some of them were not in great shape, even when they were in microfilm, but we did our best to clean it up. And but the other important feature is creating the metadata for all these censuses in a uniform way, categorizing them based on their publication types, based on their languages. So by doing all that, we think we make it like more user friendly.
And how about for maps? How far back?
Yeah, I guess the Times Atlas goes back to 1895. I think for the most part, we, at least at the moment, are focused on as new as possible.
Okay.
That's a little more difficult with working with the national mapping agencies and rights and things like this. But yeah, it's a growing archive, so it's certainly will go back to the the early 1900s.
So none of the really old maps.
Yeah, that's not quite the focus at the moment. So maybe in the future. But, yeah, and I'd say if there's any particular area or country that if you're interested, do you have that for maps, or the same way for census data? Certainly, please ask. Any other questions?
The metadata for either one, either the census or the maps, are you passing any of that metadata through to other vendors for discovery winners?
We create MARC records for the libraries to use. So I think it's the same for GGL.
Okay. But the libraries who subscribe would have to download the records.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Thank you, everybody.